Hey guys, so I have all these Blick liquid watercolors that I have not been using, so I decided I would try the 3 watercolor challenge with them. And before I picked the numbers, I did some swatches of all of them in my sketchbook. I do this with all of my paints and things so that I have a guide to look at when I'm picking colors, and I love doing this. So I thought I'd show you guys just a simple swatch thing. And then I used random.org to generate 3 numbers, and you can see the footage of that. I didn't cheat on this. I didn't have just whatever I thought would work. I actually just randomly generated these colors, and I ended up somehow ending up with purple, black, and metallic silver. The metallic kind of threw me off a little because I hadn't worked with these before and I didn't know how much shimmer there would be in the final result or how it worked when it got watered down. And I ended up disliking the metallic the most just because it made it really difficult to use it as like a regular gray with all the glitter in it. And as you can see, my table broke right before I started filming and my paint spilled all over the floor. So that bottle's broken, but that was the pink and I didn't need that for this video, so we were all set. Once I cleaned up all the water, we got back to painting this and doing this challenge, and it was a challenge. So I started out with a little sketch in my sketchbook, as you can see, and then I just redrew that onto some cheap watercolor paper. I really never use watercolors. This is my first set that I've purchased, so this is like a first attempt. It's like a testing and a challenge all in one. And you can see I really struggled to pick how I wanted to draw those fingers. And yeah, it was a struggle. I drew them several times and redrew them. But I decided to just draw like a monster girl, and this was actually inspired by Mania, the Fall Out Boy album, and I could not figure out what I was going to draw for this challenge because I picked out the colors and then I like went to bed. So the swatches were filmed one day and the drawing was done the next day. And I had no idea what I was going to draw, and I sat there and sat there. And then Fall Out Boy released another music video, and I was like, aha, purple, Mania, this works out really perfectly, actually. So yeah, it was really just convenient that they gave me an idea to work with. And I used my Micron liner to do this. I usually use the brush one for like hair and fuzzy details, and then I just use the regular bullet point one for all the thin lines, and a chisel one for like eyelashes so I can get that perfectly straight line. And then so I did the royalty in her hand, and I kind of changed it from the original can just because I didn't want to just be redrawing the same can. And then I gave her like a fuzzy sweater, like are they llamas or alpacas? Anyway, the monsters, and the horns, also like the monster. And I knew I wanted like the purple fuzzy jacket and the gray tea can, and obviously the wave is purple and the silver gray colors. But from then on, I didn't really know how I was going to color the girl so that it didn't all just blend together. So I don't usually do like unusual skin colors and like monster things that much, but I really liked the idea of this, so I just went with it. I didn't even like test these blendings out, I just really went for it. So given that, I feel like it was okay. I do actually feel like I made a little bit of a mistake here because I used this clear like transfer tape. I couldn't find any masking tape anywhere or painter's tape, and I did it on the 3 edges and then I forgot to do the bottom, and just by the time I did the white sticker paper instead, because the clear one didn't stick, it was already too dark on her jacket, and I did try to darken it up some more, but at that point I didn't quite have the faded edges like I wanted, and as I discovered later, the sticker paper just did not work very well. Something else I discovered is that the black that comes with the Blick, and it's just the plain black, it's very blue tinted. It doesn't look super blue in the video, but as I was doing it, I had to keep layering it and layering it and layering it until it looked black. And I was so worried that like by the time I layered it, I had messed up all of my like image of how the light hit it, and it did end up a little washed out looking, but I still like it. And I feel like the sort of dull, like muted colors in the back against the like dark colors in the face are really nice. I was actually pretty impressed with how this came out for like a first test of these paints. And there was some cleaning up to do, so I actually went ahead and put that picture that you see there in DeviantArt's Miro and cleaned up the edges. I usually have a tablet, but I don't have it because I am still on vacation. So I was really just struggling to use the regular mouse pad, and I cleaned up the border because it got a little discolored somehow. And I faded the edges where it was supposed to look very faded, but I just kind of screwed it up in my first test of this. And there was a lot of minor adjustments. You might not even notice some of the things that I changed, but the metallic, when I photographed it and scanned it, it did leave the glitter that's like up next to her eyes and her chin. And it just looks like staining, and I don't really like that, so I went ahead and kind of erased that and made it darker. And I did the same just all over her face where the gray came off as just like a haze instead of a shimmer. I don't know if technically I'm cheating on this challenge by editing the photo afterward, but I was actually really content with the final results on the painting itself. I just wanted to make a better digital version that would have all the edges cleaned up like I wanted them because I screwed up with the taping. And I have learned that for my next thing, I need masking tape or painter's tape or something. Just not sticker paper or like clear transfer tape because those do not work. And I also decided that I had kind of screwed up on the highlights because usually I have like a white pen that I go back and clean up highlights with, but I don't know where it is. I lost it. I am not a very organized person. Perhaps my next video should be organization tips because I'm just sometimes a wreck and I can't find art supplies. But for this challenge, it was just the 3 colors, so I left it at that for the original picture. This one is really, I just felt like it needed to be cleaned up though to keep it as like a digital piece and be happy with it. So I broke the challenge rules, I guess, but in making this a different piece that I like more than the painting, but I also appreciate the painting, I sort of am ignoring the challenge at this point, if that makes sense. So this was the digital one. It's just a lot brighter than the other one, and the colors are just more contrasted. So I tried to print it because I had the brilliant idea that I would make this a print. And I didn't like that one, so I decided to print it again. And I just got this printer, so I am messing around with all the different settings, and I made it better by just changing things, and I like that one more. So I like that one, and I'm gonna probably do something with it, put it in a frame or whatever I decide to do. But this is a bad segue into the fact that this is a digital print, so not a physical one that I'm mailing you, but a digital print now on my new Etsy shop, and this is really just the beginning of things that I'm going to be putting on there. You guys will see from my other videos that I do a lot of crafts, and I would like to be more focused on that. But I just want a digital print on there for now before I like go back from vacation. So if you would like to purchase this, you can check it out at the link below. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more crafty content. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.